Let's be honest, most Planet Coaster parks still look like Planet Coaster parks. They're full of amazing coasters and beautiful scenery, but something just doesn't make them feel believable. So after spending hundreds of hours building Prospectors Park, I've learned a few things that completely changed the way I design parks. So today I'm sharing my top tips that you can use immediately to make your parks feel far more realistic and believable. Tip number 1. Build a story. Now, regardless if it's a low budget park, high budget park, the biggest mistake I see is placing buildings just because there's an empty space. Every building should have a reason for existing. Just think to yourself, who works there? What was this building originally used for? How does it fit the theme? For example, Frontier Falls isn't just a spinning coaster. It's an old mining operation that's been terraformed into an attraction. And the story influences everything from the queue to the station to the surrounding scenery. It all ties into that original mining company vibe. Tip number 2, create sightlines. Real theme parks don't show you everything immediately. The way I think of it is the entrance is like a movie trailer. They show you the best bits or key parts, but they hide a lot of it from you. So with Prospectors Park, you can only see the top of the entrance building for the spinning coaster. But in the future, you might be able to see tips of mountains or station buildings, but you won't be able to see them fully until you enter. To create good sightlines, use trees, buildings, maybe bridges, rockwork, and even changes in terrain heights as well, so guests gradually discover your attractions. The reason being is because the reveal is much more exciting than just being shown it straight away. Tip number 3, build the land before the ride. So when I first started, I'd build an entire coaster layout and then desperately try to squeeze every scenery item, every bit of terrain in between it. Now I do the opposite. I kind of decide what place I'm creating first, and then I weave the coaster around the scenery. It just instantly feels much more believable and you get a better result in the end. Same goes for dark rides. Personally, I'd build the facade and the show building size for starters, and then try and put the ride inside of it. Yes, you'll be restricted, but that's what makes it better, so then you don't have a massive show building and then you're trying to cover it up. Which leads me on to tip number 4, fill the empty space properly. Now, trees are great, but they rarely look realistic alone. Try layering smaller details together, such as barrels, crates, even fences, lanterns, benches, signage, bushes, rocks. You can have trees as well. But yeah, these little details are what make guests believe they're walking through a real theme park. Tip number 5, stop building so flat. They just feel artificial. You don't need giant mountains, but even subtle changes in height make a huge difference. Small hills, retaining walls, raised planters, bridges, stairs, lakes, and then suddenly your park has depth. And depth is realism. Tip number 6 is hide the ugly bits. Now, I don't mean from a bird's eye view, because a bird's eye view shows pretty much everything, but from a guest height, hide the ugly bits. Every realistic park has staff roads, maintenance areas, warehouses, utility buildings, but you don't see them at the theme park. You can hide these areas behind trees, fencing, rockwork, or even themed facades as well. I'd only really use a themed facade if it's a dark ride, otherwise I'd just use nature, to be honest. But it really creates that immersion. Tip number 7, change every single building slightly. You can copy and paste buildings, but they can't be identical. You need to change something about it. Unless it's supposed to be a mirrored effect, which I highly doubt it. Just change something slightly about it. Maybe change the windows, add an overhang, change the roof style a little bit. Anything. Just make each building feel like it's got its own identity in history. Now, tip number 8, very strangely, is to improve realism, you need to build less. Every park needs somewhere to breathe. This can be done through large plazas to create a gathering space and make your biggest attractions stand out even more. Because yes, having a fully detailed roller coaster is great, but for it to look fully detailed, you need to have it next to a breathing space. Because if you have something heavily detailed next to something heavily detailed, you don't know what to look at because they're both heavily detailed, which sort of eliminates the heavy detail. Now, number 9, decorate in layers. Don't decorate everything at once and perfect it. First, do the plan, and then I'd do the first layer of the building, so just the walls, then paths around it and trees, then certain bushes, then rocks, and then come back to the building, finish off the building, and then add props, and then finally lighting, finishing details such as benches, bins, lanterns if I've not already said them. So yeah, layering scenery really makes your parks feel complete because it naturally progresses rather than detailing one thing and then having the thing next to it completely plain. Now the final tip, which is probably the best tip I could ever give you, is finish whatever you start before starting something else. So this is probably the biggest lesson I've ever learned. Don't rush into the next themed area. Finish the current one, or at least get it to 95% done. Add the signs, the queues, backstage areas, lighting, the small details, and then leave about 3% left in the tank to come back later with a fresh set of eyes, and then move on to the next themed area. There's no point starting one themed area and then building another themed area but only having 20% complete of each. Bonus tip, the last tip I would give is just plan everything. Everyone says it, but it's very overlooked. It's so overlooked. Even if you go off the plan, that's fine, but have a vision in the beginning, plan it, and then if you slightly change it, slightly change the plan. Use inspiration, use Pinterest, use AI if you really want to. AI is great. It can generate concept art, but just look at real life theme park examples. Look at the layouts and use that plan. Your building, your plaza, your themed area, whatever it is. Don't dive straight into the deep end because you will lose motivation very, very quickly. So those are the 11 biggest things I've learned when building Prospectors Park. If you're building your own park, hopefully at least one of these tips will help you take it to the next level. And if you'd like to see every single one of these ideas put into practice, I'd really appreciate it if you checked out my Prospectors Park series, where I'm building an entire theme park from scratch. So if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know your favourite building tip in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.